What's good, R&B squad? This is Hot of Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you're new to this family, we don't believe that you're here by accident. Welcome. We're happy to have you, and Jesus is, of course, always happier. The word that I have today comes from a dream that I had and some scripture that the Lord pointed me to. And as per usual, as you listen to the details, you will know whether or not this dream pertains to you. If this is something that the Lord has been speaking to you in your private time with Him, please eat the meat, spit out the bone, take what's for you, and leave the rest. I'm going to get right into the dream and then the interpretation and the scripture. So in this dream, I saw a lady. And there was something about this lady that was very dark. First of all, her appearance, she appeared as though she had not been taking very good care of herself. That's the first thing. Her hair was unkempt. There was just something about her that she looked flustered. That's the best word that I can use to describe it. And not only that, but she had like this darkness around her. She seemed like a very dark person. And there was this other person who was in pursuit of her. And this reminds me of another dream I had where there was a person pursuing someone, and that individual ended up falling over and they hit their head and was unalived. It reminds me of that dream. But in this dream, this lady that looked very unkempt and had this darkness about her, there was a person pursuing her. And the person was calling out all of the things that she had did. The person was saying to her, well, you did this and you did that. And I didn't hear what all she was being accused of. What I did hear was the word crooked. I know the individual called her crooked. And I remember that and I took a note of it. And in their pursuit of her, she was trying to dissuade this individual from pursuing her, to dissuade this person from coming after her and calling out all of the things she had done. And again, this is similar to the other dream that I had where the same thing happened to another lady. She was trying to escape this person who was basically listing all the wrongs that she had done. Now, this woman in this dream, what ended up happening to her is that as she ran, because she tried to make a run for it, as she ran from this individual who was calling out all of the things that she had done wrong, she fell and hurt both her legs. And when people came to inspect what was going on, when they came to inspect her legs, I heard somebody say that she was going to be crippled, that there was no way she was going to be able to use her legs after that. And that was the end of the dream. And when I woke up and I saw the Lord led me to Leviticus chapter 21, verses 20 to 22. And I'm going to put that in the description box. The essence of Leviticus chapter 21, verses 20 to 22, it lists physical defects that people can have that will prevent them from coming to the altar of the Lord. And here's the thing, even though it uses physical defects, what is really being referred to is spiritual stuff. It's spiritual defects that are being referred to. So if anybody has a spiritual defect in any way, they cannot approach the altar of God. They cannot approach the holy altar. They cannot make offerings. They cannot even offer up a prayer because they have a spiritual defect. So to get back to the dream, this woman, this person who was chasing after her and calling out all of the things that she had done wrong, and she was trying to escape this person. What's interesting about this is the day before I had this dream, I saw someone walk past me and that person was wearing a t-shirt, and the t-shirt said, if they knew what was coming, they would pray. And I got chills when I saw that because I knew the Lord was speaking through that person with that t-shirt. The t-shirt said, if they knew what was coming, they would pray. So this is a judgment word. There are persons who are crooked. They are not pure before the Lord. As I mentioned, the woman had this darkness about her. They are not pure before the Lord. And because they are not pure before the Lord, and they are already in judgment, they're already in a judgment season. Even though they may be crying out to God right now, the Lord is saying, it is too late. You are crying out to me, but you refuse to change your ways. You are crying out to me, but you're still doing the same things that I already warned you not to do. So you're crying out to me on the one hand, and then on the other hand, you're still practicing witchcraft. You're crying out to me on the one hand, and the other hand, you're trying to sabotage children of God. You're trying to create chaos in the lives of children of God. How can I hear you? How can I hear your prayers if you are doing the same thing that I told you not to do? And so these people are already receiving judgment, and they're afraid. That woman was retreating from the person who was calling out all of the terrible things she had done. And this is a time when God is calling people out for their wrongdoings. He's calling them out for the things that they do that are not of him, for the plots that they created against children of God. He's calling them out for it. This individual in this dream used the word crooked, and it's interesting that that word was used because that same word is in Leviticus chapter 21, verses 20 to 22. It's right there, the word crooked. And when the Lord used the word crooked in Leviticus chapter 21, verses 20 to 22, as well as in this dream, he was referring to spiritual defects, someone who is spiritually crooked, who's not pure before him. And so it doesn't matter how much these people try to get away. They can make a very valiant effort to try to escape judgment. It is still going to overtake them. Notice that lady, in her attempt to escape, she fell and hurt both her legs. People came and they looked at what was going on, and they said there's no way she can move. She's crippled now. She's unable to move. She's been paralyzed. So these people, not only are they going to receive the full extent of the judgment of God, but crying out to him at this point, which is what some of them are doing, is not going to help, because they're crying out to him, and at the same time they're still doing the things that is causing him to judge them. So they're not making any changes. They're just praying, and that it doesn't work like that. It can't work that way. And not only that, but these people, the things that they had the power, that the enemy was giving them the power to do before, whether it was interfering in the lives of children of God, whether it was oppressing you in any way, trying to bring you down, trying to cause upset in your life, they are no longer going to be able to do that. Whatever power they thought they had has been cut off completely. And their attempts to interfere in your life are going to be useless. And that's the word. So I hope this message reaches the right ears. I love you guys. I will be back with another word as soon as the Lord releases me. Take care.